So we're going to talk about physical energy depleters, because there are two kinds of physical energy depleters. One is the lack of movement, because that is deeply energy depleting. And we're going to talk about the food that we eat, or what goes in our mouth, which is also immensely physically depleting. We're going to start with the first one, which is movement. Now, the way that your body works is that we have your blood system, which is pumped by your heart. So your heart goes in, it's a muscle, it pushes blood around your system. And that is absolutely vital, because all the goodness in your body is carried around by your heart, pumping through your blood. And the only time that that doesn't happen is when you're dead and you don't need any more nutrients and any more goodness going through your body, so your heart doesn't need to work. But then we have a second system overlaying that first system. And this system, simplistically, is your lymphatic system. So what happens is your blood system is here, and it throws all the junk into your lymph, and it keeps all the goodness to go around and give to your whole body and your cells and feed them, and it's all the yummy stuff. So your lymphatic system has no pump. Has no pump. Which means that it doesn't have a heart pushing it around trying to get rid of all the junk. It doesn't have any way for the lymph to move all of the gunk out of your body. So the lymph moves the gunk out of your body in a few ways. By sweating, by moving, and by drinking water and thinning it and getting rid of it that way. So your body will naturally use the lymph to get rid of gunk, but it needs a little help from you. Instinctively, we tend not to want to help the lymph. So you eat a huge meal. I like lots of small meals. So when I grew up, what we used to do is a good Indian household, 3 meals a day, and then you didn't snack. It drove me insane. It drove me insane because I hate feeling really full. You know that feeling when you've eaten and you think, I've eaten too much and I feel crap. I hate that feeling. And so what used to happen in my house is you got your meal, you ate your meal, and then you wanted to sit in a corner and sleep it off. Hate it. I prefer smaller, lighter meals where at the end of a meal, I don't want to die and I feel better. Now, what is happening is that when you have eaten this enormous meal and when you sit there and you are just not moving, you're literally wallowing in what your body is giving to you. And you know, the way it breaks down the nutrients, it's breaking down the junk, it's doing all of that stuff, all the blood is going to digesting, the energy is going to digestion. But your lymph, when you sit, and we sit in desks all day as well, we spend a lot of time sitting. Your lymph does not actually get the opportunity to chuck that junk out of your system. And when you have days and weeks and years of your lymph not being able to chuck stuff out of your system, what actually happens is that it builds up and it builds up and you just feel yucky. And what happens when you feel really bad is that you continue to do worse things. Have you noticed that? When you're in a spiral of doing bad things, you do more bad things. But when you're in a spiral of doing good things, you do more good things. But the lack of movement hurts the way that your lymph functions. So you end up sitting in your junk instead of your body being able to dump it out. So how do we help our lymph to move? What I want you to do is I want you to track the amount of water that you drink in a day, because that will help your lymph to move. I want you to be able to move around. Within the next hour after you eat a meal, move. That movement helps your digestive process, and it also helps your lymph to dump junk. It's a fantastic thing. And the third thing is, that's why when we go to a gym and we sweat, it smells and we feel better afterwards. It is really interesting. The smell that will come off somebody who eats meat is very different than the sweat smell that will come off somebody who eats plant-based food, because your body is trying to get rid of all of its junk. That's the goal of what it's trying to do. So, yes, you need to move. Yes, you need to exercise. But start with, you eat, then give yourself about a half hour, clock in a walk. Go and do anything. Climb up and down some stairs for all I care. 15 minutes, just walk somewhere. Get your coffee or your afternoon drink from a coffee shop that is further away than the one you always do. Do that. And do that for a few days and you will notice an enormous difference in actually how your digestive system is and how you feel traditionally after a meal. Try that.